Thursday. Woo, woo. How are you? Good to see you. What's up, Eric? Hello, Gumdrop. Hello, Disney. How are you? If y'all were on my live yesterday, I showed you one of my McDonald's toys from 1990. It was one of the changeable toys because apparently McDonald's is coming back with those toys. So here's one that's also a cool McDonald's toy that I thought I'd show you before we begin. This is this cool steak man. I don't know if any of you guys had this back in the 90s, but we've got him here. And you can pull out his muscles. This says it's from 1993. I don't know if you can see. I don't think you can. Bam. Look at that. He kind of matches my shirt today. Legend says, I remember that. Mr. E says, I still have mine. Oh, no way. You guys remember it. Lenny says, I had it. Ah, no way. That's so cool. I don't know why I always like this dude, but he's the epitome of the 90s, especially with this hat. It reminds me of the Fresh Prince a little bit. So yeah, gotta miss those cool McDonald's toys, and hopefully they will be bringing back more and more of these cool little things. Jarbing says, I had one, I miss it. Oh man. What's up, Jim? How are you? What's up, Nick? Good to see you guys. Are y'all excited about trivia today? Whoop, whoop. Today I've brought along a bit of a sound. Woo! We'll hype us up with our trivia. Whoop, whoop. So, yeah. All right, so if you are new here, welcome. If you have been on our trivia live before, welcome back. I'll just tell you how this all will work because you see a bit of a wheel behind me and some dice. So we do have a few games we're going to play in between the trivia. So what will happen is I will read a trivia question, and the first person who gets the question correct on my screen will get a point. And I will ask 5 questions. The person with the most points after 5 questions will get a chance to spin our lovely wheel here. And on this wheel are some games, and there is an instant win. If you land on this tab, then you get a free t-shirt from 80sTees.com. I've got a Blockbuster t-shirt today, and I've got Power Rangers and a Nintendo 64, my favorite console. So these are all up for grabs today. So if you spin the wheel, land on this tab, then you get an instant win, free shirt. If not, then you play one of these games. If you win that game, then you will win a t-shirt. Now, I've only got 3 t-shirts to give out tonight. And once those t-shirts are gone, they are gone. So it's good that you guys are here early because you've got more chances of winning a t-shirt. So basically, I'll just read the 5 questions throughout the night. Every 5 questions, whoever wins in that 5-question round will get a chance to spin the wheel. Now, if there is not a clear winner after the 5 questions, I'll keep asking questions until we do receive a clear winner. And here's just a couple of rules, so we're all on the same page. No abbreviation. So if the answer is Backstreet Boys, don't put BSB. Make sure you type out the full word. Last names only are acceptable. First names only are not. Spelling, you don't have to spell it correctly, but it must sound like the word, okay? So if the word is Seinfeld and you accidentally put an X in there because your finger slipped, I can't accept it, okay? But if it does sound like the word, then I will accept that, okay? Now, I don't know why this happens, but sometimes it'll show that you got the answer right before somebody else on your screen, but my screen will say something different. My screen is the official screen, so I have to go with whoever gets the answer correct first on my screen. I don't know why it does that, but that's just how it goes. If you do experience any kind of lagging, I would suggest clicking off of the YouTube app and then trying to go back on and see if that will help a bit with the lag. Sometimes that does happen. Again, I don't know why, but I have heard that has worked for some people. But that is the gist of everything. Pretty simple. Thank you, Daniel, for the super chat. Daniel says, LOL, class of 97. It's funny watching millennials have a midlife crisis. Still love you, Tara. You make me feel old. I don't think we're in our midlife crisis, you know? We're just It's the beginning. We're just having fun, man. We're just having fun. But thank you, Daniel. Good luck to everyone. Here we go. Also, thank you for 80sTees. They're the ones that are giving us our prizes today. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't have prizes. So thank you, Kevin, who is the owner of 80sTees. If you haven't checked out that website, check it out. They have thousands of nostalgic T-shirts on there, literally thousands. So highly recommend if you haven't been on there. Okay, here we go. Are y'all ready for the first question? Here we go. What song was named the #1 greatest one-hit wonder of all time by VH1? Q says, thank you, Mom. I know I do sound like a mom with all my rules, but I want to make sure we're all on the same page, that this game is nice and fair. Oh, Balloon was close, but autocorrect got you. So David is the first to say Macarena. That is correct. Nice work, David. You've got the first point for this round. If y'all have not seen my Macarena video, I posted about it yesterday. It tells you about the true meaning of the Macarena, which I found very fascinating when I learned what Macarena was actually about. So look at that video if you haven't seen it yet. Okay. Which actor said this quote? I see dead people. Which actor said this quote? Grant says, I love this channel. Was checking out Pogs earlier. Ah, nice. Were you checking out the Pogs video or were you looking at getting some Pogs yourself? Pogs were a great thing. A great thing. All right, first to say Haley Joe Osmond is Mr. E. Mr. E is on the board. Nice work, Mr. E. Man, that movie, it's still, at the time, I had like nightmares after one of the scenes. That movie scared me, man. Okay, next question. Which portable CD feature was introduced in the 90s so that music wouldn't miss a beat? Mine never really worked. I don't know about you guys. Becky was quick with the anti-skip. That is correct. Becky is on the board. I don't know about you guys, but my anti-skip never worked, especially on road trips. You hit that bump in the road, you listen to a song, every time this song would skip, every time. All right, here we go. Next question. Tommy, Chucky, Angelica, Phil, and Lil were stars of which cartoon? Oh, Brandon was so close, but autocorrect got you. So the Waits Experience. First to say Rugrats. That is correct. Waits Experience is on the board. I forgot if I didn't tell y'all, but this live trivia will go for an hour. So plenty of chances to win throughout the night. All right, next question. Who released the album Jagged Little Pill? Who released the album Jagged Little Pill? Curtis says, I remember I went back to Walkman so I could actually run and listen to music. There you go. The Walkmans were pretty cool too. Steven, first to say Alanis Morissette. That is correct. Steven is on the board. Now, we have asked 5 questions, but there is not a clear winner, so we will keep going until there is a clear winner for this round, okay? All right, next question. Who won the US presidential election in 1992? And again, last names only are acceptable, but first names only are not. If that helps y'all type a little bit quicker. Neil, first to say Bill Clinton. That is correct. Neil's on the board for this round. Who's going to win it? Not a clear winner yet. All right. Next question. What was the official name of Microsoft's Paperclip Assistant? What was the official name? Oh, this one's a tricky one. This one is a tricky one. The official name. The official name. No one's gotten it yet. Oh, Florida Man Racer. This was a hard one. Good job, Florida Man Racer. His official name was actually Clip It. His nickname was Clippy. Did you guys know that? That's a good one to know. Florida Man got it. Clip It, not Clippy. Clippy was his nickname. Here we go. Next question. What is the name of Nirvana's most popular album? What is the name of Nirvana's most popular album? Balloon says, yo, we learning in here. That's right. I try to put a few trivia questions in that might trip you up a bit. Space Engineer Eric says, the more you know. That's right. Gumdrop with Nevermind. That is correct. Gumdrop on the board. Man, still anybody's game this round. No clear winner. Let's keep going. Which rapper spent most of his life living in a gangsta's paradise? Which rapper? Emperor with Coolio. That is correct. Emperor on the board. Nice work. Here is the next question. In what year was the Nintendo 64 first released? What year was N64 first released? Emperor, first to say 1996. That is correct. Emperor, congratulations. You have won this round, which means you get to spin this wheel for a chance to win a t-shirt from 80sTees. Again, we've got the Blockbuster t-shirts, Power Ranger t-shirts, and this Nintendo 64 t-shirt all up for grabs tonight. So I will give this wheel a bit of a spin. Where it lands, man, this game is a popular one. High-low G.I. Joe. So how this game is going to work is I'm going to pull a card here. Half the deck. We have pulled a 9. Now, Emperor, is this card here higher or lower than a 9? If you guess correctly, then you will get a t-shirt. Emperor, what is your guess? Chat is saying lower. Emperor is saying higher. All right, let's see if the car right here is higher than a 9. Is it higher than a 9? Oh, Emperor. Wow, that's awesome. Congratulations, Emperor. You have won a t-shirt from 80sTees. Woo! Nice work. That's awesome. Now, to claim your prize, please just contact me after this live on either Facebook, TerraTown, or Instagram, Terra.town, and we will get you hooked up with one of the t-shirts. Nice work, Emperor. Way to go. Now, we still have 45 minutes left and 2 t-shirts to win, so let's keep going, shall we? All right. here is the next question. Which two numbers followed by a star was used to hide a phone number on caller ID? This is what everyone used when everyone was prank calling back in the day. This is our version of 6-7. And the first person to say 6-7 is Steven. Steven is on the board for round 2. Nice work, Steven. All right. 6-7. That's where it originated. All right, next question. Tinky Winky, Dipsy, Lala, and Poe were from which TV show? My younger sister used to watch this every morning, so I used to see this every morning before I went to school. Dear 5, first to say Teletubbies. That is correct. Dear 5 on the board for this round. Nice work, dear. All right, here is the next question. 1-800-ABCDEFG was the phone number for which reading program that helped children to read through phonetics? I actually used this to help me read as a kid, so it worked for me. Call 1-800-ABCDEFG. Neil, 12C with Hooked on Phonics. That is correct. Neil is on the board. Again, one of those commercials that stay in our heads forever. Or at least mine. I don't know about you guys. Okay, next question. Which video game was the first ever to be played in space? Dio says Miss Cleo. What? I like Miss Cleo. I never called Miss Cleo, but you know, she was on our TV quite often. All right. Knight the Great is the first to say Tetris. That is correct. Tetris was the first game to be played in space. Knight is on the board. Nice work. Or Nate. Is it Nate the Great? My bad. Creative way to spell it. Nate the Great. Okay, here's the next question. Who voiced the Beast in the Chinese release of Beauty and the Beast? Who voiced him? Last names only are acceptable. First names only are not. Daniel says, you are special. Thank you for being you. Oh, that's so nice, Daniel. Thank you. Okay, first to say Jackie Chan is Marco. Nice work, Marco. Jackie Chan voiced the Beast. There you go. Okay. Next question. What movie soundtrack is known to be the best-selling soundtrack album of all time with 45 million copies sold worldwide? Chris says, I love your videos on the tube. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that, man. Marco, first to say The Bodyguard. That is correct. Bodyguard with Whitney Houston. Let me just, there we go. Marco, congratulations, man. Guess what? You have won the second round. Nice work, Marco. So Marco, what that means is you get a chance to win one of our nostalgic shirts tonight. We've got a Blockbuster t-shirt, a Power Ranger t-shirt, and a Nintendo 64 t-shirt up for grabs tonight. I will spin the wheel. If you land on this 80sTees tab or this 80sTees tab, you will instantly win a shirt. Otherwise, we will play a mini game. If you win that game, then you will win a shirt. All right? Here we go. Let's spin the wheel. Where is it gonna land, Marco? Where's it gonna land? Oh, we've got hot or not. All right, so how this is going to work is I'm gonna split the deck. I'm gonna pull a card. You get to pick whether it's going to be red or black. So red is hot, black is not. If you guess correctly, then you will win a t-shirt. So Marco, I'm gonna pull a card now. Guess whether it is red for hot or black for not. If you guess correctly, you will win a t-shirt. What is your answer, Marco? Marco says not, which is black. Marco, are you correct? Let's have a look. Is Marco right? Is it black? Oh, no, Marco. I'm sorry, man, but I have pulled a red card. I'm sorry, but you did not win this game. But it's all good because we've got a lot more trivia left. You still have more chances to win. So let's continue playing our 90s trivia. All right, here we go. Here is the next question. Which grocery store product was advertised with this simple slogan, "Got blank"? Which grocery store product was advertised with this simple slogan, "Got blank"? Oh, Stephen was close, but there's a misspelling there. Doesn't sound like milk, so I'm going to have to give it to Waits Experience. Waits Experience, nice work. You have 1 point in the third round. Nice job. All right, here is the next question. Which 90s wrist accessory was made of flexible stainless steel spring bands and was invented by a Wisconsin teacher? Oh no, there's so many. There's so many autocorrects going on here, but purple. First to say slap bracelet, that is correct. Purple is on the board. Nice work. You all still have your slap bracelets? Those were so much fun back then. Okay. Which Chicago Bulls basketball player was featured in the movie Space Jam? The main man. Who was he? WG says the fact you're using a pen and paper is the most 90s thing right now. Totally. We got to keep some 90s elements in this game. Okay, first to say Michael Jordan. Steven, that's correct. Steven has got a point this round. Steven keeps accruing points every round. All right. Gumdrop says use an overhead projector next time. Man, if I own one, I totally would. I always wanted to ride on those things. But then I'd probably, I don't know why, but every time those things came out, I feel like everyone would fall asleep. It was very relaxing. So if I use that in this trivia, I'm sure everybody would fall asleep here. Okay, here is the next question. Name the robotic toy that was feared for being a tool for foreign spies. Name the robotic toy that was feared for being a tool for robotic spies. I'm sorry, for foreign spies. Sorry. All right, Gumdrop, first to say Furby. That is correct. Gumdrop has a point this round. Nice work, Gumdrop. All right. What year was the Nintendo 64 game GoldenEye 007 released? Did y'all play this game? We played it a lot. Love the paintball mode. T-Pro, first to say 1997. That is correct, T-Pro. T-Pro has a point this round. Nice work. All right. Which 90s band sang the song? Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Purple says game of the year 2 years in a row. Yeah, it was pretty fire, especially the music in GoldenEye. That pause music, so good. Crusher, first to say tag team, back again. That's right. Crusher on the board for this round. Nice work. Now, we have asked 6 questions, still not a clear winner, so we'll keep going until there's a clear winner this round. Here's the next question. Nick, Drew, Justin, and Jeff belong to which boy band? Card says that's actually my favorite Tara video, the GoldenEye pause music. Yeah, have y'all seen that video? Where I do talk about and dance to the GoldenEye music. All right, who's going to get this one? First to say 98 degrees is Elizabeth. Elizabeth is on the board. 98 degrees is correct. Nice work, Elizabeth. Okay, here is the next question. Which Major League Baseball team won the World Series from 1996 until 2000? Who were they? Elizabeth says, I'm not on the board. Why not, Elizabeth? Vivian almost said it, but she forgot the S in the last one. So it has to sound like the exact word, which is part of our rules here. All right. First to say Yankees is Andrew. That is correct. Andrew is on the board. Nice work, Andrew. All right, here is Mr. 3 says, guys, I think Tara may be a time traveler on the low. I could be a time traveler. What year am I from, Mr. 3? Could I be traveling from the 90s? Maybe. Here's the next question. The largest shopping mall in America opened in 1992 in which state? Which state? Starseed, thank you for the super chat. Starseed says, love your content and channel. You help me remember the good times. Oh, that's so cool. I'm so glad. Thank you for supporting the channel and appreciate you being here, man. Glad we can all relate to similar memories. All right, first to say Minnesota is Andrew. Andrew, guess what? That is Andrew's second point this round, which means, Andrew, you get to spin the wheel. Woo woo. So, Andrew, you have a chance to win one of these t-shirts that I have here tonight. I've got a Blockbuster t-shirt, a Power Rangers t-shirt, and a Nintendo 64 t-shirt, all up for grabs tonight. Now, how this works is I will spin the wheel. If you land on this 80s Tees tab or this 80s Tees tab, you will instantly win a t-shirt. Otherwise, we will play one of these mini games. If you win that mini game, then you will win a t-shirt. Okay? So let's spin the wheel. Here we go. Where's it gonna land? Nobody knows. Oh. Andrew. Do you see what I'm seeing? Andrew has instantly won a t-shirt tonight. Andrew. Woo! Congratulations, man. You have won a t-shirt from 80sTees. Please contact me on Facebook or Instagram, Tara Town on Facebook or Tara.town on Instagram to claim your prize. Nice work, Andrew. Just contact me over when the trivia is over and we will get you hooked up. Nice work, man. Now, if you have not won yet, it's okay. We still have one t-shirt left up for grabs 2 nights. Again, I will continue to ask 5 questions at a time. Whoever wins those 5 questions gets the most points after those 5 questions. We'll get a chance to spin the wheel and win that last t-shirt. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Elizabeth. Thank you for the super chat, Elizabeth. Elizabeth says, you're the best, and I hope to be where you are today. Oh, Elizabeth, that's so nice of you to say. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a good night tonight, and thank you for being here and playing the trivia with us all. And thank you all for being here. This is a lot of fun. It's my favorite time of the week. So it's cool that you guys are joining in and we all get to play together. So thank you. All right. Here is the next question. All right. What do the initials JNCO stand for? So what does JNCO stand for? The initials. 99 Jar Bink says Trivia Thursday. That's right. We're going to try to do trivia every Thursday this month. So please, if you're liking the trivia, come next week. We're going to have trivia again. All right, let's see who's going to get this one. This is a bit of a hard one. T-Pro, first to say, judge none, choose one. That is correct. T-Pro is on the board for round 4. T-Pro. Nice work, T-Pro. All right, here is the next question. All right, which actor said this movie quote, "There's no crying in baseball"? Which actor was it? Last names only are acceptable. First names only are not. Ooh, y'all are quick on this one. First to say Tom Hanks is DMC. Nice work, DMC. DMC is on the board. Way to go, DMC. All right, next question. Name the punk rock band that released the album Dookie in 1994. Who was that rock band? Steven, first to say Green Day. That is correct. Steven is on the board. Steven, again, you're on the board every round, Steven. All right. Here is the next question. Which country was the host for the 1998 Winter Olympics? Which country was it? What are you guys saying? Yellow day, blue night? That's funny. Which country? Captain, first to say Japan. That is correct. Captain is on the board. Very nice work, Captain. All right. Here is the next question. What was the name of the spectacular comet that passed the sky in 1997? What was the name of that comet? Anybody see that comet back then? All right, Garrett is the first to say Haley Bop. That is correct. Garrett is on the board. Nice work, Garrett. All right, next question. Name the candy that came in the form of a plastic ring with a giant jewel you could eat. I remember everybody was proposing with this ring to each other. Oh, Stephen, you were so close, but Stephen had a spelling error or autocorrect error. So S3, first to say ring pop, that is correct. S3, you were on the board. Still no clear winner this round, so we will keep asking questions until there is a clear winner this round. All right, here we go. Finish this phrase. The best part of waking up is... The best part of waking up is... Neil, Folgers in your cup. That's right, Neil. Neil has a point this round. Nice work. Here is the next question. What's the name of the channel that first aired Supermarket Sweep in the 90s? Oh, I love that show. Anybody else love that show? I knew what everything was costing back then, even though I wasn't buying any groceries. All right. First to say Lifetime is Scream. That is correct. Scream on the board. Still anybody's game this round. All right. Next question. What was the name of Bill and Hillary Clinton's cat? What was his name? I actually had a cat with this name as well. I think a lot of people did back then. Juan, first to say socks. That is correct. Juan on the board. Who's going to win round 4? Who's going to take it? All right, next question. So with this one, you can say the character's name or the actual name of the person, okay? So which Spice Girl wasn't originally part of the Spice Girls? So which Spice was it? Who wasn't originally part? All right, first to say Baby Spice is Paddington. That is correct. Paddington is on the board. Nice work, Paddington. All right, here we go. Next question. Tamagotchi is Japanese for which 2 words? Tamagotchi is Japanese for which 2 words? Lex says, thank you, Miss Town. Thank you, Lex. Which 2 words? Oh, y'all are close. Purple. Purple is the first to say egg and friend. That is correct. Purple is on the board for this round. Still anybody's game. We've got a lot of people on the board for this round. All right. Next question. Who starred along Paris Hilton in the show This Simple Life? Who starred along Paris Hilton in the show This Simple Life? Steven, first to say Nicole Richie. That is correct. Steven. Guess what, Steven? Steven has won round 4. Nice work, Steven. Whoop, whoop. All right, Steven. So what this means is you've got a chance to win a shirt from 80sTees.com. You've got a chance to win this Blockbuster shirt, this Power Ranger shirt, and this Nintendo 64 shirt. Thanks to 80sTees. We do have one t-shirt up left for grabs, so let's see if you can win it, Steven. I'm going to spin the wheel. If you land on this 80sTees tab or this 80sTees tab, then you will instantly win a t-shirt. Otherwise, we will play one of these mini games. If you win that mini game, then you will win a t-shirt. Are you ready, Steven? Let's go. Where are we going to stop? Where are we going to stop? Oh, high-low G.I. Joe. This always seems to be a popular stop on the wheel. All right, Steven, I'll give this deck a bit of a shuffle here. All right, so what I'm going to do is pull a card from the deck. We'll have it here. Oh. Steven, I have a feeling you're going to be winning a t-shirt tonight, man. So, Steven, I have pulled a 2. You have to guess if the card underneath the 2 is higher or lower than a 2. If you guess correctly, then you will win a t-shirt. Steven, is this card here higher or lower than a 2? If you guess right, you will win a t-shirt. Steven, what do you guess? Does Steven say lower? No, I'm just kidding. Steven says higher than a 2. Is this card higher than a 2? Oh, barely, Steven. But yes, Steven. Congratulations, Steven. Whoop, whoop. You have won a t-shirt from 80sTees. Nice work, Steven. So, Steven, after this live is over, contact me on Facebook at Tara Town or Instagram Tara.town to claim your prize. Nice work, Steven. Good job. Now, that is all of our t-shirts that have been won tonight, but we are going to continue trivia until our hour is up. So we will have more prizes for next week's trivia, so make sure you you join the next week's trivia. Otherwise, please stay with us. We're going to continue to play trivia. Unfortunately, no more prizes, but still a lot of fun. A lot of good, fun information that we're all learning here or remembering. Okay. Here is the next question. Robin Williams voiced which character in the 1992 Disney movie Aladdin? Which character did he voice? And he was phenomenal at it as well. A lot of the stuff he just made up on the spot. It wasn't even in the script. Genius, man. He was a genius. Hook. First to say genie. That is correct, Hook. You have our first point for round 5. Nice work, Hook. All right. Here is the next question. What was the best-selling gaming system of the 90s? What was the best-selling gaming system of the 90s? Vern says Mrs. Doubtfire. Yeah, that was an amazing movie. That would be a fun movie to watch on movie night. All right, first to say PlayStation is 1 HP. That is correct. Nice work. Here is the next question. Name one of the two actors that voiced Simba in The Lion King. Name one of the two actors that voiced Simba in The Lion King. Okay. I can't accept abbreviations, but Redmond is the first to say Matthew Broderick. That is correct. If you also said Jonathan Taylor Thomas, that would have also been correct. So, Redmond, nice work. Redmond gets a point. Good job, Redmond. Okay, here we go. Next question. I have a feeling you guys will get this one, no problem. Who was the original Pink Power Ranger on the TV show The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? What was the actress's name? J-Bob, first to say Amy Jo Johnson. That is correct. J-Bob, 55 on the board for this round. Nice work, J-Bob. All right, here is the next question. My Heart Will Go On was the theme song for which movie? Near, far, wherever you are, I believe that the heart will go on. Andrew. Nice work, Andrew. Andrew's the first to say Titanic. That is correct. Andrew's got a point for this round. Nice work, Andrew. Hook says there was room for Jack. There was room. There was room for him. All right. In 1996, which fictional female character debuted in the Tomb Raider video game series? How good was that movie? Do y'all prefer the original Tomb Raider or the new Tomb Raider? Adam, thank you for the super chat. Adam says, hi, Tara. I know these bands didn't originate in the 90s, but have you ever listened to Kiss or Motley Crue? Yes, I have, Adam. Yes, I have. Are these some of your favorite bands, Adam? I actually saw a cat that looked like Kiss. I have to show y'all a picture. I wanted to take it home. It was a stray cat, but I was in a different country, so I couldn't. Okay, first to say Lara Croft is KD5. KD5, you've got a point for this round. Nice work, KD5. Nag says hi, and I love your sort of videos. Thank you, Nag. Much appreciated, man. Thanks for joining our live. We're doing a bit of trivia tonight. Okay. Which Sesame Street character was the must-have Christmas gift toy in 1996? Which Sesame Street character? Oh, quick with this one was T-Pro. That is correct. Elmo. It was Elmo. People went bananas for Elmo back in 1996. Did y'all ever have that? Tickle Me Elmo? All right. Next question. Which PlayStation game was the first to require the DualShock controller? Which PlayStation game was the first to require the DualShock controller? Ooh, this one's a bit of a hard one. Oh, we've got so many guesses on the board. No one has guessed correctly yet. Ooh, this one we've got a lot of people stumped here. The question is, what PlayStation game was the first to require the DualShock controller? Everybody's like naming every game they can think of. Okay, we've got an answer here. Jordy. Jordy is the first to say Ape Escape. That is correct. Jordy is on the board for this round. All right, here we go. Next question. Everybody's like, what the heck? Yeah, if you look it up, that's what it is. Okay. From which band did the hit song Bop Da Ba Doo Wop top the music charts in 1997? Adam, thank you for the super chat. Adam says, I've seen Kiss 3 times. What? Whoa. They definitely put on a great show. R.I.P. Ace Frehley. Plus, I've seen Motley Crue live when Mick Mars was still in the band. Man, that's cool that you were able to see them live. That's awesome. Very cool. Okay, first to say Hanson is Metal Boot Guy. That is correct. Metal Boot Guy on the board for this round. Still no clear winner for this round. Who's it going to be? All right. Let's do another one. Which console was the first major home system with a built-in modem for online gaming? All right, first to say Sega Dreamcast is Metal Boot Guy. That is correct. Metal Boot Guy. Guess what? Where's my, oh no, I've lost my audience cheer. All right, I'm gonna cheer for you. Woo! Metal Boot Guy, nice work, man. You have won the 5th round. Unfortunately, Metal Boot Guy, I do not have any more t-shirts to give out. However, if you would like to spin the wheel, you are more than welcome to and play a game. Metal Boot Guy, would you like to do that? Play a game anyway. Metal Boot Guy says yes. Okay, cool. Good. I think these games are fun. All right, Metal Boot Guy. Let's spin the wheel. See where it'll land. Hot or not. Did y'all ever go on that website back in the day? Okay, Metal Boot Guy. What I'm gonna do, I'll give this deck a bit of a shuffle. I learned shuffling as a kid. Might as well use the skills while I have it, right? Watch. Oh, fancy, right? All right, Metal Boot Guy. What I'm gonna do, I'm going to pull a card here. When I flip over this card, it's going to be red for hot or black for not. If you guess what that card is correctly, you will win this mini game. Okay, so metal. Do I have black for not or red for hot? What is your guess? Metal. Christopher said, let's go. Thomas is saying black. Christopher saying red. Where is Metal Boot Guy? John says Blockbuster. Now that's a name I haven't seen in a long time. Yep, it has been a while since we've seen the good old Blockbuster. All right, Metal Boot Guy says red. Let's see if Metal Boot Guy is correct. Is the card that I have, well, is the card that I have here red? Let's have a look. Is it red for hot? Oh no, Metal, I am sorry, but it is black for not. But Metal, you won a long round. That was awesome. It's okay. All the shirts are gone anyway, so it's all good. But we still have a few more minutes left of trivia, so let's continue our trivia, shall we? Vernon says, that looks red to me. Okay. Here we go. Next question. TY Incorporate was responsible for which toy craze in the 90s? Redmond, quick to say Beanie Babies. That is correct. Redmond gets a point for our final round. Nice work, Redmond. Here is the next question. What does AOL stand for? What does AOL stand for? And how many of you still use the email address? Ooh, Neil, very quick to say America Online. That is correct. Neil gets a point for this round. Nice work, Neil. Next question. From the show Legends of the Hidden Temple, name the color of the Parrots team. What color were they? I used to go for this team every now and again. I'd switch my teams up, but I liked this one. T-Pro, first to say purple. That is correct. Purple Parrots. Nice work. Let me make sure I get your name correct on the, there we go. T-Pro. Okay. Next question. What was the advertising slogan used by Apple Computer starting in 1997? What was that advertising slogan called? Clay says, chat, you hear that? She just farted. Well, that's news to me. Clay. Salted Tools, first to say think different. That is correct. Salted Tools on the board. Nice work. And I miss when the Apple logo was colorful. I remember going into the computer lab, those old school, thick, heavy computers with the green screen with that colorful Apple logo. The best time of the day besides PE and recess. All right, which UK royal family member passed away in a tragic car accident in 1997? You can say the first name in this one, that's okay. KD, first to say Princess Diana, that is correct. KD on the board, nice work. James, thank you so much for the super chat, James. Appreciate you, man. Okay, next question. What is the name of the youngest Hanson brother from the band Hanson? What is his name? First name, obviously, is okay in this regard. T-Pro, first to say Zach. That is correct. T-Pro. Nice work, T-Pro. You have won round 6. Good job, T-Pro. Where's my cheer? Woo! Nice work, T-Pro. Now, T-Pro, unfortunately, all the shirts have been won for this trivia night. However, you still can spin the wheel and play a game. See if you would have won a t-shirt. Had we had more? If you would like to. T-Pro, would you like to spin the wheel? Alex says, I'm being ignored. You're not, Alex. I see you. I'm sorry. The chat goes by super fast, so it's hard to get to everyone's comments. T-Pro said, let's go. All right, T-Pro, let's do this. Let's spin the wheel. Let's see which game we're going to play. It'll probably be I Love G.I. Joe because we seem to keep landing on that one today. What is it? What is it? Oh, we've got barely in there, the 90s Queen. Okay, so T-Pro, I've got 3 cards here. One of them is the 90s Queen. She is hiding behind one of these 3 cards. If you guess the correct card she is hiding behind, then you will win this game. Okay? So, T-Pro, is the Queen hiding behind 1, 2, or 3? 1, 2, or 3? T-Pro, where is she hiding? 1, 2, or 3? T-Pro says number 3. A lot of you guys say number 3. Let's see if she is behind number 1. She's not behind number 1. Is she behind number 2? Ah, T-Pro, the 90s Queen, is hiding behind number 2. I am sorry, but you did not win this game. But you did win that round, which is awesome. Congrats, T-Pro. Nice work, everyone. It has now been an hour, which means our trivia has now ended. So thank you, everyone, for coming to trivia tonight. Much appreciated. Good to see you all here. Again, thank you to Kevin from 80sTees. He's the one that has given all of our t-shirt prizes tonight. And if you did not win a t-shirt tonight, you do have a chance to win one next week because we will be doing trivia next week. Same time, same place, 8 o'clock Central. So I really hope to see you guys there. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned some things or remembered some nice memories. So Critical says the N64 one is awesome. Yeah, I love that shirt. N64, as you guys know, if you've been on my lives, is my favorite console. I do like the N64 shirt. Game says, where's the evil version at? That's what everybody asks for the live. She's, she's resting for when she has to get on and do another video. Mr. E says, I'm going to buy the N64 and the Blockbuster shirt. Nice. We'll be twinning, Mr. E. Make sure you send me a photo. That'll be cool. 99 Jar Big says, Blockbuster shirt for me. Nice. Yeah, I like this Blockbuster shirt. It's a good one. It reminds me of the good old days. Friday night. Today is actually my Friday, but it's close to y'all's Friday. But every Friday, I always think about TGIF and Blockbuster. Even to this day, I still think about it. I don't know about you guys. But it's like Friday, I just want to watch a movie. You know, I want to watch a movie. I want to eat pizza, although I don't eat pizza anymore. But I like to think of pizza. Raul says, good old days are definitely missed. Definitely, definitely. All right, y'all. Well, I am actually going to continue live, but I'm going to take a bit of a 5-minute break and then I'll come back on at live. So if y'all want to stay, we're going to just chill and chat. So if you want to stay, chill and chat, we'll be doing that in 5 minutes. But I just want to say congrats to all the winners. Make sure all the winners, please message me on Facebook or Instagram, and I will get you hooked up with your t-shirt. Again, I'm Tara Town on Facebook and Tara.town on Instagram. Please message me. Please message me, and we'll get you hooked up. Yeah. And again, next week, we've got trivia, 8 o'clock. I will make a trivia event so you can be notified with that event. And then you can also wait for that event. So when you wait, I believe it does notify you as well when the trivia does go live. So make sure you're in there and make sure you arrive early, because the earlier you are in the room, the more likely you will win a shirt before they're all won. Okay? So Adam, thank you for the super chat. Adam says, I got a custom-made Ninja Turtle shirt with the Kiss makeup of their faces. What? No way. You'll have to show a picture of what that looks like. That is cool. Wow. Where did you get that, Adam? That's awesome. Okay. Y'all give me 5 minutes. If you'd like to stay in chat, I'll come live again in 5 minutes. If not, then I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. All right. Thanks for playing. I'll see y'all soon. Bye, everybody.